Arahant Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivadin Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Sanghang Namami Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Itipiso Bhagava Arahang Samma Sambuddho Vijacharana Sampanno Sugato Lokavido Anuttaro Purisa Dhamma Sarati Sata Deva Manusanang Buddho Bhagavati Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sanditiko Akabhiko Ehipasiko Opanayiko Ajatang Veditabo Inyuhiti Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ujjupatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Nyayapatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Samicipatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Nyadidang Cattari Purisa Yugani Atta Purisa Pukkala Esa Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Ahuneyo, Pahuneyo, Dakineyo, Anjali Karaniyo, Anuttarang Punya Kedang Lokasati. Now, we have the chant queued up, the verses of sharing and aspiration, which is the English chant, a translation by the English Sangha at Amravati Monastery. So it's a translation of a Thai chant that's done as a way of calling to mind all of those beings that have benefited us throughout our life, even those in distant realms, and offering them a share of the goodness that we have done today, offering them a share of the goodness that we've amassed by practicing the Dhamma and by keeping the precepts, and by, most importantly, cultivating ourselves, cultivating the minds, reflecting. And so as we do this chant, invite you to just think of anybody in particular. Could be somebody who's passed away recently or long ago, or even somebody who's still alive. And think of sharing the goodness that you've done with them. Now let us chant the verses of sharing and aspiration. Through the goodness that arises from my practice, may my spiritual teachers and guides of great virtue, my mother, my father, and my relatives, the sun and the moon, and all virtuous leaders of the world, may the highest gods and evil forces, celestial beings, guardian spirits of the earth, and the Lord of death, may those who are friendly, indifferent, or hostile, may all beings receive the blessings of my life. May they soon attain the threefold bliss and realize the deathless. Through the goodness that arises from my practice, and through this act of sharing, may all desires and attachments quickly cease, and all harmful states of mind, until I realize Nibbana. In every kind of birth, may I have an upright mind, with mindfulness and wisdom, austerity and vigor. May the forces of delusion not take hold, nor weaken my resolve. The Buddha is my excellent refuge. Unsurpassed is the protection of the Dhamma. The solitary Buddha is my noble guide. The Sangha is my supreme support. Through the supreme power of all these, may darkness and delusion be dispelled. Maybe we can wrap up the retreat, wrap up the evening with a half-hour meditation together. And I can give just a little bit of guidance. I've often found that the evening is a particularly good time for metta practices. It's a time when we can much more easily recall acts of kindness done to us. Just starting with this day, it's the end of the day, and we've had meals, and we've had conversations, and we've had interactions. We've used the requisites, clothing, food, shelter, and medicine, and we can recognize the way that others have provided these for us. We can recognize the skills that we've employed from the skills of our profession, right down to the simple things like who was it who taught us how to sweep a floor or how to do a load of laundry, who taught us how to cook, who taught us how to clean, who taught us how to dress ourselves. All of these things, we are made of gifts and offerings and inheritance. So we start, even if it takes a little bit of effort, but trying to think of even just one thing that we were given today. We can reflect on the joy of the giver and our being willing to receive. And a sense of friendliness is demonstrated in a gift. A sense of friendliness that's demonstrated in receiving and sharing and in being part of something. We can feel how, when we think of this and think with gratitude on something we've been given, in that moment, the mind cannot hold a grudge. If we form a strong sense of this friendliness around that gift or that support, and even if we were to call to mind something bad that that person did, it would be hard for us to change gears, to resent, to hold a grudge, to bear enmity. And metta is what is called guardian meditation. It protects the mind from all sorts of unwholesome states. So we can delight a sense of gratitude. Let that sense of kindness and friendliness, let it dwell in the heart. In the Dhammapada, the Buddha says, there are those among us who do not understand that one day we all shall die. But those who see this will settle all quarrels. Likewise, seeing that our time on this planet is finite, what use would there be in clinging to animosity and resentment? States that hurt us, states that hurt others. Instead, why not think about all of the goodness that has come to us? Why not hold that in our hearts? Because that is pleasant. that helps us and that helps others. The thing about goodness and good acts and friendly acts and generosity is that the appreciation of these things is itself a good act. And so goodness increases the more it is shared and delighted in. With this knowledge, we can think of something that somebody has given us, some great value or some support or some love or some friendship. It's very dear to us. Whether this person is alive or whether they've passed away. It's okay to be humbled, thinking of how grateful we really are, and how difficult it is to repay a kindness extended at just the right moment. It's okay to feel inadequate. This is where the sharing of merit comes in. It's a true act of kindness is not done with the thought of getting a reward. It's done merely out of friendliness and the desire to see the other person be happy. So the best reward that can be given, the best way of expressing gratitude is to allow ourselves to be happy, allow ourselves to delight with metta, with gratitude. And to share that happiness and brightness, that gratitude and love with the person, with the people who have helped us the most. So this concludes our day long. Thank you for joining. So preview of coming events. We have our regular new moon, full moon sittings, which happen. Next one coming up is next Thursday, I think. That's online. And there's a meditation and a Dhamma talk and a chance to take precepts and refuges. Then Saturdays in November, going to be doing sort of day-longs over at the property. So it's a limited amount of space, but people who are interested, I think Alex will be going down there, and maybe Nate will pop in at some point. So there's going to be options to join in on that, and that'll happen every Saturday in November. Yeah, otherwise we'll be seeing you tomorrow. And we'll be seeing you all online soon enough. Sadhu, 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 sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you, Bantes.
Have a good evening.